be a Nebraskan, get a 36 on your ACT, and go to University of Nebraska free and live happily ever after. That is the subject of today's video. My name is Craig Meister. I'm a college admissions coach. You can learn more about me and how you can work with me one-on-one through the entire college admissions process at my website, collegemeister.com. Now, why are we talking about this today? Well, not everyone is a Nebraskan, of course, though maybe you want to move there, because once I share what I'm about to share, you could be intrigued, especially considering the cost of a high-quality undergraduate education in the United States today. But Nebraska has just announced a new initiative that encourages Nebraskans to stay put in Nebraska, and in order to do so, they are enticing Nebraskans with a perfect score on the ACT, a 36, to go to University of Nebraska, Lincoln, the land-grant flagship university in the state, to become a Cornhusker and go there for free if you can get a perfect ACT score. What are the details? Well, I'm not going to give you all of them, but long story short, it will pay, the University of Nebraska will pay students who score perfectly on the ACT to obtain a University of Nebraska education, says President Chris Kaborek, who was joined by Governor Jim Pillen and other elected officials in making this announcement. A 36 on the ACT is very, very hard to get, but there are students, many students I've worked with through the years, who are capable of doing it. It's a fun thing when it happens. Congratulations to students. But if you're so lucky to earn, not lucky, you really worked hard to earn a 36 on the ACT, and you're lucky enough to be in Nebraska, a resident of Nebraska, they don't want you to leave Nebraska. They want you not to be part of the state's brain drain, as they call it. They want you instead to be lavished with money in order to stay and therefore get a free education at University of Nebraska. The scholarship will cover the cost of attendance, including tuition, fees, books, room and board, and guess what? It's even going to include, to boot, $5,000 annual stipend. Annual, so that's $20,000 over 4 years. To, quote, pursue whatever your dream in life is, says the interim president of University of Nebraska, Chris Kaborek, as well as Governor Jim Pillen. Oh, wow, that's exciting. So when are we moving to Nebraska? I think that would be a great idea for you, probably if you are a youngin'. If you're a youngin' and if you have children who are young, this would be a great time to start buying them an ACT prep book and packing up the U-Haul to go to University of Nebraska for 4 years. But before you get there, you got to become a resident of the state first. This is not for out-of-state students. All right? This is not for a California kid who's going to stay a California kid. They have to move with their mom and or dad under guardian to Nebraska, settle in. I don't know if there's how long the residency has to be. You have to read the fine print, but I would assume it has to be a little bit at least. You can't just do it during your senior year, I would assume. Otherwise, they're going to get a lot of people taking advantage of them from San Francisco and New York are going to move in just for the short term to get that free University of Nebraska education. You may be saying, is a University of Nebraska education worth it? Well, you get to root for the Cornhuskers. You get to be a Cornhusker. I think that's fun in of itself. A lot of teams to root for, a lot of fun, happy social events happening at University of Nebraska. But let's talk about the quality of the education. It is ranked, again, this is just one ranking. It is not the Bible, but a lot of people do treat it as such. The U.S. News and World Report ranks University of Nebraska as a school that is in the top 160 in the country. There are basically over 2,500 undergraduate institutions in the United States. So this is a nice university ranking. And on the National University Ranking list, it is ranked in basically the top, give or take, 150. That is a good place to be. That is a healthy place. That's a good school. University of Nebraska is a good school. Maybe you do not consider it because, yes, I will admit the majority of my viewers are not from Nebraska. But Nebraska is a safe, relatively safe, happy, classic Americana state. And, maybe, again, if you have young kids in particular, this is the time, especially if you work remotely or if you're independently wealthy, this would be maybe a really interesting time to move to Omaha or Lincoln and settle in for a few years, get your child relaxed in a strong academic setting where they'll have time, or he or she will have time to prep for the ACT and get that perfect 36 on the ACT. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, and also subscribe to my channel. And as I mentioned earlier, if you want some personalized support, because maybe going to Nebraska is not for you, either residentially, you don't want to move there, or even the university itself does not appeal to you, and that's fair. There are 31 flavors and then some. But if you want support throughout the college admissions process, go to collegemeister.com to learn how you can work with me one-on-one. Until next time, my name is Craig Meister. Stay safe, stay well, and most importantly, stay stress-free throughout the entire college admissions process.